Hey, hey. Anybody out there? Yeah, all right. So I'm going to do a little song and dance. So no matter how bad that I am, the next group doesn't matter, so just get used to it. But I'm Michael Stone. I am the CEO and founder of Milestone Investment Management here in downtown Carrollton, Georgia, and proud to be the presenting sponsor for tonight's Mic'd Up Part 3. So I want to thank you all for being here. It's been really great for the past 3 years to have Mike here, and your support has been incredible. So I also want to thank our other sponsors who are participating in making tonight's event possible. I believe when you came in, you got a program, and you got another piece that has a list of all of our sponsors that are in it. And I think there is a QR code in there also that you might want to use later. But I want to thank those sponsors for helping make tonight possible through their support, and more importantly, through your support in being here and buying the tickets. I want you to know, including this year, so far, we have raised over $15,000 that is going to be used in the University of West Georgia music department for resources for music students and for scholarships. So thank you very much. And I mentioned the QR code. That's for those of you who are so inclined that you may want to donate more money. You can use that QR code, and it'll direct you to the University of West Georgia Foundation so that you can continue to contribute to this great purpose. As most of you know, Mike is a singer, songwriter, and he's one of the founding members of the Tedeschi Trucks Band. With them, he has won 2 Grammy Awards, 8 Blues Music Awards from the Blues Music Foundation, 8 Canadian Maple Blues Awards. Mike also graduated cum laude from Harvard University, and he lives here in Carrollton with his wife Allison and Maggie, who I hear is somewhere in the audience tonight. So let's hear it for Allison and Maggie. Mike tours the globe about 180 days a year. He's played on 5 continents. He's also played in all 50 states except one. Can you name which one he has not played in? Alaska. That's correct. I guess those poor souls up there are too cold to appreciate his kind of music. I don't know. But he also publishes essays and music journalism. And in 2021, he wrote this fabulous book, which is Poetic Song Verse, which is a deep dive into the influence of the blues on poetry and songwriters. So you see, Mike is more than just a musician and a songwriter. He's a great educator as well. Mike can be seen performing all over the globe. But tonight, it's your unique opportunity to see and hear what drives him, how he writes, and what the blues genre means to him. If you're not familiar with the format of the show, it involves Mike and his group, Trash Magic, playing songs interspersed with dialogue and questions from Dr. Chad Davidson, who is the director of the University of West Georgia Culture Lab. Those will occur in 2-song intervals. The set list is also in your program, along with a description of Mike's new album. Again, I want to thank you all for being here. And if you've got a cell phone with you, please take a picture and send it to your friends and say it's not too late to come down here and enjoy some great blues. Now let's hear it for Mike Mattison.
Thank you, Michael, for that wonderful introduction. And thanks for mentioning my family. See, I am cool. I think we're going to have a little chat with Chad first, or we're going to play some songs. Play some songs? Okay. All right. We're in the midst of a tour for an album that we put out earlier this year. It's called Turn the Midnight Corner. And it's kind of a concept album, I guess. It was an idea I had about a blues duo from the 1930s who gets rediscovered in that era of rediscovery in the 1960s and 70s. And they get back together and they're going to do a big album, and all these rock stars get interested in it, and it all just falls to pieces. And this was a novella I was going to write, and I started writing it, and I've never written a novella. Apparently it's hard. And but I kept writing about songs that this duo, Ted and Turk, wrote back in the 1930s. And then I thought, maybe I should just write these songs and then make an album, and then maybe I'll be inspired to finish a book. So we did do the album. Book has not arrived yet, still a work in progress. But this is Turn the Midnight Corner. And this is the first song. It's called Going Down the Alley. Hold on a sec, Falcon. Going down the alley, babe, I'm just about torn apart. Going down the alley with a toothache in my heart. Going down the alley, time to sing. Going down the alley, anybody seen a wedding ring? Going down the alley, humming salt and sours gasoline. Going down the alley, Mona Lisa, take my hand. She's a soul of mercy, always smiling on this man. Going down the alley, times done changed. Going down the alley, grit and grime on center stage. Going down the alley, baby, I got ice cream in my veins. Down the alley, anybody seen my shoes? Walked them out this morning, seems like the last thing I might lose. Going down the alley, I could tell, turn a midnight corner, smack up right into yourself. Baby, this is heaven, give me everything you got on hell. Going down the alley, let the curses fall like rain. I could swear that diamonds, man, they're practically the same. Going down the alley, tickle pink, no time to dilly-dally. Broken glass, kitchen sink, going down the alley. Baby might just miss me if you blink. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but this is another one from our record called And I'm Gone. Hey, little bird about the railroad track, slip me five or slip you back. The cotton's high, the stakes are low. Nobody needs an ever know. And I'm gone. And I'm gone. And I'm gone. Living with this and the jiggle of that. Stand me up and knock me flat. Everybody shouting and singing song. Twice as good as twice as long. And I'm gone. 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 Yes, I'm gone. Oh, I'm gone. I'm gone, child. Whoop that thing screaming holler. Who's that slicing? Don't that die. Whoop that thing screaming holler. Who's that slicing? Don't that die. Who's that slicing? Don't that die. Who's that slicing? Don't that die. Come on down, you little cinnamon bun. Didn't know me to teach you how to have some fun. Firewall is a big good friend. While these good times disappear, and I'm gone. And I'm gone. And I'm gone. Blackjack smoking that cigarette. Yeah, the boy can get as good as he can get. The cotton's high, so I win. Next stop, Louisville, Tennessee, and I'm gone. 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 Yes, I'm gone, child. Oh, I'm gone. Oh, I'm gone. And I'm gone. Yes, I'm gone. Oh, I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. Oh, I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. Before I bring Chad out, I thought I'd just introduce you so you know who you're listening to, and then if you don't like them individually, you can. There's a comment box out front. Yeah, and the weakest link holding us back, Dave Yoke on guitar. Little Rock, Arkansas's own Greg Spradlin on the other guitar. The Griffin from Griffin, Wesley Flowers on the bass. And Tyler the Falcon Greenwell on the drum.
Mikey. I'm not sure if Michael Stone introduced me, did he? Okay, so we've been doing this now for 4 years, Mike and I, and because we work at a university, we have to turn this into an educational venture. So you get the opportunity to hear Mike talk about his songwriting, what helped inspire this album, and I get to be on stage with Mike Mattison. And what's your name again, sir? Robert Yoke. But I want to just quickly, I want to return to that second song, Mike, And I'm Gone. I was thinking backstage in that chant section. Who's that slicing up that dollar? Mm-hmm. It's all about having fun, but it's also sort of like, to me, if there's no fun here, I'm done, I'm leaving. Like, it seems sort of childish and petulant, and I think you've even written about it that way, haven't you?
It's deeply childish and petulant, yes. And again, you know, we're here to talk about the blues, and that's one thing that I do like about them is that every emotion is welcome in the blues, no matter how violent or vile or childish or weird or exuberant and joyful, which you can find embarrassing. The blues kind of creates this space where anything can happen. It's all about expiation, and as long as you're doing it for real, then the blues audience likes it, I think. And you know, I've said this the last couple years, but just to give people a little background, the way I look at the blues is there's kind of 4 founding principles or pillars. One is the blues form, which is AAB. You sing a statement, and then you sing it again, a 4th step up, and then you resolve the statement or you respond to the statement by going from the 5th to the 4th. That's the 12-bar blues, and that's kind of technical, but you know, we all, as Americans, know it intrinsically. So you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't close my eyes. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't close my eyes. I'm wild about you, baby, and I can't be satisfied. And that structure is really ingrained in folk tales and in joke telling and stuff like that. If you make a statement, people are like, oh, okay. And then you make it again, they're like, why? You must really mean this. What's going to come next? And then this answer thing. And it creates this tension that builds up and releases, and you do that over many verses. So the blues form is the first pillar. The second, the second, and maybe the most important, is insistent rhythm. A rhythm that chugs along, and that too is inviting you to dance, to participate, to clap along. Insistent rhythm can be counted on to continue in a certain way, and in that way you realize, oh, I can jump in on this, I can participate. And it's just fun, which is kind of why it's one of the main building blocks of the blues. And I'll wrap this nerd part up quickly here. But the third part, and again, as Americans, whether you know it or not, you think you know it or not, you do. These blue notes, which are technically microtones or quarter tones that come between notes, and so you're bending a note. You can't play a blue note on a piano. You have to play 2 notes that are right next to each other, and for this kind of dissonant sound. But the human voice can sing a blue note. And and it slides all over, and it doesn't fit on the Western classical scale because it's deeply human. It's the first instrument, it's our voice. And again, I think the purpose of that, not that people were thinking about it this way, but it's inviting. You're like, oh, that sounds like me. I can participate in this, you know. And then finally, the last part is a little more esoteric, and it's authenticity of feeling. When you put these 3 elements together, the way you're judged in the blues isn't if you did it the best, or you did it the fastest, or you did it with the most skill. It is, did you mean it the most? Did I believe you? And that's how you have to keep winning blues audiences over. Did I believe you? And authenticity of feeling, laying it out there. It's so rarely rewarded in the world, but in the blues, it is exalted. So you can be terrible at your instrument, but if you convince me, you're a god.
And in that respect, I mean, my background is poetry, and that shares a lot with contemporary poetry, this idea of authenticity, right? You have to kind of be believable, and you have to feel like I'm with you and you mean it. And in fact, I was just thinking as you were saying how that form, the blues form, it's embedded in our culture. It's even in poetry, the sonnet.
Yes.
You go all the way back to the sonnet, it's the same structure.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
And that just means little song. So it's just been embedded in Western culture for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You said he got kind of nerdy with the sort of blues form, but strangely that song you just played, I'm Gone and I'm Gone, is kind of even simpler than that form, where it plays with that form a little bit. Could you just talk about that?
That was the
briefly?
idea when I was writing it, is I was kind of humming it to myself when I was on vacation with my family, and I was like, oh wow, that's really simple. I was like, I can even make it simpler. And like, how simple can I make this? How minimal, you know? And if you kind of put those parameters on yourself, you have to be creative lyrically, but also minimalism in and of itself kind of invites suggestion. You have to pack a whole bunch in because you don't have a lot of room to say everything you want to say. And so I tried to just make it a song that went from 1 to 4, you know, and I'm gone, and I'm gone, and I did it, and then at the end when we were recording it, I chickened out, and I added a bridge on it. I was like, I think people will be mad.
Was that you or pressure from the band, though?
I always feel a little pressure from the band, but that's mostly just kind of like a low-grade distaste for me.
I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I know you're here to hear Mike, but I just wanted to say one word about the first song then. Just the lyrics in that song. I don't know if you guys picked that up, but they're just so fantastical. Like I got toothache in my heart, right? If this is heaven, give me all you got on hell. What's the line about the shoes? Has anyone seen my shoes? I walked a mile this morning in them.
Walked them out this morning. Seems like the last thing I might learn. The idea of that song was one of the blues duo, a guy named Turk, keeps going crazy, maybe on purpose, maybe not. And his term for kind of going crazy is going down the alley. So it's about a person talking about going crazy kind of after the fact, as they are crazy. And to me, that really fits into the blues continuum too, because what I really like about my favorite blues lyrics is this surreal sense of image and juxtaposition and things that kind of knock against each other, almost like just kind of like surrealistic haiku in a way. It's funny, I was listening to Smokestack Lightning, a Howlin' Wolf song on the way over here, and that first verse still haunts me to this day as a person who wants to try to write. And it's like, oh, smokestack lightning, shine like gold. Can't you hear me crying? Oh, oh, oh. You're like, what are you talking about? I mean, obviously he's talking about a train and this kind of surreal thing coming through the night. And you can see the flashes from the coal furnace lighting up the smoke, you know, and you can imagine if you're in rural wherever in the South in the 1920s and teens, and you see that coming through, it's like, what is this monster, you know? But then can't you hear me crying? And it just leads you on deeper into the song. I highly recommend you go check it out. But in just a few words, he just knocks it out of the park.
We're going to hear 2 more songs. Do you want to set those up at all?
Sure. The first one also feeds into a common blues theme. It's called When I Was Loaded.
You mean rich. He means rich.
No.
He means rich.
Leave it to the poet. And another one is the next one after that's called Get It Back, but we'll talk about it. good time. Back in school, gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. Have me high hopes. How about you gonna get them back? I'm gonna get them back. We're gonna tramp this old over till I get them back. I lost my good friend, Cleveland bound, gonna get her back, gonna get her back. Change their perfume, try to cut down, gonna get you back, baby, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna tramp this whole world over till I get you back. My shoe, gonna get you back, baby. I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna hold my breath till I turn blue. Gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna tramp this whole over till I get you back. I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. Gonna get you back. I'm gonna tramp this whole over till I get you back, baby.
God, it sounds like it's such a shame to come here and break up that party, but I'm not going to stay long. I'd ask you a couple questions, though. Because you said earlier that you're really trying to sort of limit yourself, simplify. So one question I had is, there's a difference between simplistic and simplicity.
I would agree.
Yes, right? So I want you to talk to them a little bit about that. And then I just want to hear more about this, one of the best two-note guitar solos I've ever heard in my life. And then I noticed, different than the recording, which is for sale outside, by the way, Greg kind of riffed on that, was doing like a one-note solo too, which is so cool. So could you talk a little bit about that kind of simplicity?
Sure. Thank you for continuing down that path. Yeah, simplicity is much different from simplistic.
Sure.
And again, I think when you give yourself parameters then you have to work within them and you have to fight against them, you know. And I think that's a big part of the blues. You know, for example, in this song, we toyed with the blues form a little bit, where we go. It's basically a 12-bar blues, but instead of going from the 5 to the 4 to resolve it, we just stay on the 5, which hopefully, for the music people out there, you feel like it should resolve, but then it doesn't. And it adds to the tension, and hopefully that kind of builds over the song, and I think it did, because I thought that was an excellent performance. Yeah, it's funny you should mention this. I was listening to, when I wrote this, I was listening to Jimmy Reed, the great blues musician, and he has a song called Found Love. And I was listening to it, and I just started laughing, and I can play it for you a little bit.
Play it.
If I can find it. Oh, there it is.
Siri, give me Found Love.
But, you know, it's just kind of this normal loping blues. Yeah. And then he does this harmonica solo that I just found hilarious and annoying and infuriating.
Oh, God.
And he wraps it up. But it's funny, I was driving my daughter, who's here tonight, and I'll embarrass you for a second, listening to that on the way home from volleyball practice, and she said, "Hey, when you play this week at University of West Georgia, can you not do that?" And I said, do what? And she's like, just, ah! And I said, so surprise, that's exactly what we did. But I think within that solo is something really brilliant, which is playing with expectations, simplicity, insouciance, maybe borderline snotty.
There's like a swagger to it.
Tons of swagger, humor.
Yeah.
But also there's a facility there too. He's probably doing some circular breathing and stuff. He's like, I'll show you how long I can hold this note out. And so to me, that was just a marvelous blues gesture. And we wanted to kind of tip our hats to that in that solo.
Let me ask you just one more quick question about form. The first song, which these are two of my favorite songs on the album, but When I Was Loaded, that's recognizably blue. I mean, it sounds like what I think of as blues sounding like. You have that kind of dum, 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 and the beat that Tyler came up, Falcon, you came up in that first part is so cool. That little roll is. Could you play that for me, please? It's so cool. Let me hear it. Dum. So cool, man.
If you can get the, so it's ba-da-da-da.
Right. That's so cool. So that one's, thank you for that, by the way. That one's recognizably blues to me. I'm not a blues, expert, but that second song, Get It Back, that's a bit of a shock for me. It's like a rumba.
It is a rumba, yeah.
So, what was your choice there?
Well,
how did you arrive at that form?
That's kind of another homage. One of my favorite blues songs is Howlin' Wolf's "The Killin' Floor," and it's one of the songs that kind of, as a teenager, was a gateway into the blues for me. And when I heard it, it's not what I thought the blues were, and it is a rumba. Yeah. And ding 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 ding, and I didn't know the blues could be other things, and I didn't know that the blues had an awareness of things outside of itself. And it turns out that the blues is extremely aware of what it is and the world that it's operating in. And I always just loved a blues that's a rumba. So here we are.
I'm going to get out of the way. I know that coming up, the next song I adore. And so we'll maybe continue our discussion about form with that song.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to set them up for these two?
Yep, this one's called Lookee Here, and it's based on an old African-American, but really a blues trope. It's like Another Man Done Gone. And what's after that? Oh, Traveler is kind of a, we'll get to that. It's kind of a Tin Pan Alley thing.
Take it away.
That girl, if she living, man, she lying. Don't get sentimental on me now. Baby, I believe she's your lover. You got your own milk, now go on, leave the cow. Lookee here, man, done gone. Lookee here, man, done gone. You can keep on waiting and wishing. You can keep on trying on ambition. Baby, you can talk about, but listen, you never would believe I'm moving on. Lookee here, man, done gone. Lookee here, man, done gone. Lookee here, man, done gone.
Got those guitar wars going again. Who's gonna win? Why is that not working? This song's called Traveler.
You're a traveler just like me, a gambler I can see. And everywhere you go, the band strikes up the show. Monkey, don't you sell your throat. Monkey, thick and thin. It takes a wild-ass cannonball to soothe the beast within. You're rounded, I can see. There's honor among thieves. And everywhere you go, the cocks all start to crow. Monkey, go on, roll those bones. Monkey, soften mine. The fiddle game, it's all the same. We juice them every time. You're rounded, I can see. A traveler just like me. Everywhere you go, the cocks all start to crow. Monkey, don't you sell your throat. Monkey, thick and thin. It takes a wild-ass cannonball to soothe the beast within. You're shopping in your heart. Go on, throw that winning card. Whatever's up your sleeve, you play it just like me. And everywhere you go, the band strikes up the show.
All right, so here's my question. Are all blues musicians travelers? And how does that trope play into your conception of the blues artist?
Well, I mean, I think by default, many early blues people were travelers, and they were itinerant. There were few options available to mostly black men in the South in the turn of the 20th century, early 20th century. And so if you wanted to make music your thing, you had to move. And the reason you had to move is you had to not be in one place too long before you got arrested for vagrancy. But you could set up shop in a town, and you know, if people liked you, if you're playing by the train station, you might get to play a cotillion somewhere for the white folks, and then later at night you'd go play at a juke joint or something like that. But you couldn't stay still. You had to keep moving if you wanted to be a blues person. And I think blues people were very proud of that they found a freedom in constant movement, even though they were kind of, you know, they had the hellhounds and things on their trail. You know?
This might be a little personal, but how do you feel about being a traveling blues musician?
I wish there was a way to do it without traveling, but I just answered my own question.
Haven't figured that out yet. We're still working on that.
No, I haven't been arrested for vagrancy yet.
Mike, I remember, you know, Mike and I get to hang out with Mike, which is its own joy, and we sit around and have a bottle of wine, and we talk about these songs that they choose to play. And so I was curious about the pairing of these two. First of all, is really interesting, just this little pairing, because they couldn't be, in some ways, more different. You got this little tightly controlled Tin Pan Alley song about the traveler. It's very sort of a trope that we've heard before about the blues musician is the gambler. He's the itinerant traveler. And then that other song, which Lookee Here, was just bombastic and driving and hard, and it almost felt like a rock concert there for a minute.
We got away from the blues a little bit into rock there, but you know.
Well, but the blues gives us rock, so we know.
Exactly. They're all part of this same family tree. But you know, Looky Here, like I said earlier, is Another Man Done Gone. I think the first time we heard it is on one of these Alan Lomax field recordings of a woman named Vera Hill, and she's talking about seeing a chain gang walk by, and it's another man done gone. So basically, from a black woman's perspective, like, they got another one, you know. It's also used in the context of just another one down, you know, another person died. I was trying to play with that a little bit, and in that song, that's a friend talking to another friend, and he doesn't like his girlfriend. And so it's like another man done gone. It's like, you idiot. But I think it applies to all three situations.
Can I ask about that form for a minute? Because I just love that song. I love the form of it. I love what Dave's doing against this kind of just like insistent bass and drums that just keep driving the same thing. And Dave's playing over the top of it. Was that your idea, or is this something that the band comes up with?
That was my idea. I've been sitting on that for a while. Dave plays it expertly because it's really hard. What he's playing is a syncopated line, so it's like. And syncopation is you're playing things, you're carrying rhythmic notes over the steady rhythm. And so that's what gives it that kind of driving thing. But to sit there and play that through the whole song it's difficult, right? Yeah, he's like, not for me, but maybe for some chump.
It was a very political answer there. It's also fun.
We'll have a talk later. But syncopation is another part of the insistent rhythm of blues, and that's part of what gives it its danceability.
So you had that idea in your head as you were writing the song, or how does that? I mean, what's the relationship for you between writing lyrics and writing the song? Are they inseparable? Do they come usually at the same time?
So usually it starts with a melody or something, or a theme. I've found in the last 6 or 7 years it's a lot easier to write as if you're somebody else. So kind of trying to inhabit these two characters, Ted and Turk, was very helpful because I don't have to be me. Right. You know, I can, and it kind of frees you up creatively to say things you might not say for yourself or as yourself.
Do you want to set up the next two songs?
Sure. Be Like a Train is our train song. Everybody has a train song. It's more of kind of a rockabilly thing.
What's with that, the train? Can you, I mean,
the train?
You gave me a beautiful answer to that, but like, what's with the train and rock and blues? Train kept rolling all night long.
I think, you know, again, if we're talking about where the blues came from in the rural South, in particular Mississippi, these trains coming through were just these great modern mysteries, you know. They were loud and they were scary, and they were very much not of the rural pace of life that had been happening for decades, if not centuries. And, you know, like Howlin' Wolf said, smokestack lightning, shine like gold. Ooh, I don't even know what to make of it. But I also think trains were, they're a big part of escaping and arriving. And particularly for black people in the rural South at the turn of the 20th century, there was only one way out, and it was to take a train west or north or someplace else. So they're vehicles for escape, but they're also, you know, vehicles that you can put your dreams on as they pass through your town. You know, I think they're very evocative, and that's why they show up in blues so much.
Let's hear about the train.
Okay. Well, our idea was, instead of singing about trains, we should just be a train, be like a train.
You gotta be like a train. You gotta be like a train. Just can't get that whistle out my brain. If there's a rhythm, there's a way. You got a horse, give him hay. You gotta be like him, be like him, be like him, be like a train. You gotta be like him, be like him, be like him, be like a train. Just can't get that whistle in my brain. Take a sip on this here song while she's bragging you up the town, telling folks she put you down. Yeah, you gotta be like her, be like her, be like her, be like a train. You gotta be like her, be like her, be like her, be like a train. Just can't get that whistle out my brain. Just can't get that whistle gone.
Be like a train. We just got one more for you, and I probably should have reordered these, but we'll end with a ballad. Figure you're gonna have the blues, you better put one love song in there. So this is it, Waiting for Lola.
Lola, you keep me waiting, but you ain't coming back. Sparrow in the last, when I recall. Lola, you keep me waiting with honey on your lips, sweet sensation drifts down to my bone. Love me, oh love me, pull me out of the race, put me back in my place. All it ever even takes a word from you. Lola, I still believe, partner to your soul. 1,000 lives ago, you stole my heart. Honey, I like you saying that I can't stand your smile. It haunts me over miles of dusty road. Love me, oh love me. Come on out of the cupboard. Why you wanna need to suffer? I hardly met another lover with your charm. Lola, a mountain spring of dear old-fashioned wit. You giggle as you slip down to the shore. Lola, trembling, raise it to my lips. Winter's kiss, the leaves you wanting more. Love me, oh love me. Your loving old boy waits in his corner of the human race. Disconnect these chains, let's tally ho. Lola, you keep me waiting, but you ain't coming back.
Mike, thank you so much. And Falcon, Dave, Greg, Wesley, thank you so much for doing this. You know that Mike pays the band because they're mercenaries, but Mike is not receiving any money for this gig. Which
That's what I told them.
which was a mistake, but we're going to go with that. Over $15,000 raised for music students at the University of West Georgia. This is all because of Mike. How would you feel about a mic'd up session number 4? Provided we get a substitute for Dave. I'll break dance.
He can break dance.
Y'all, thank you so much. Really, all of our platinum sponsors, our gold sponsors, silver sponsors, everyone here, we really appreciate your help of making Carrollton a place for the arts. So my name's Chad Davidson. If you didn't know, I'm happy to speak with you after the show. If you bought a ticket for the VIP after party and you want to hang out with these guys, it's just exit stage right over here, and there'll be signs guiding you back toward the back of the stage where the reception is. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Chad. Great job, buddy.